We're seeing huge changes in sub-Saharan Africa. Childhood deaths are down in countries like Ethiopia, Tanzania. In fact, childhood deaths are down from 12 million in 1990 when these goals were set to 6.6 million children dying now as of last year. That's huge progress, and it's across the continent and across the world.
If I pick out a couple of African states for you, Benin, for instance, Togo, Liberia, I mean, they're definitely, or well, most likely not going to achieve those goals by 2015. Mr. Gates, aren't you just raising hope where there is none?
Well, the specific goal isn't as important as the fact that childhood deaths are down so dramatically. Yes, some African countries did make the two-thirds. Tanzania and Ethiopia just announced this week. Others are more like in the 50% range. But as we get new vaccines out, as we fix the primary healthcare systems, because of the clarity of the Millennium Development Goals, this is the decade that there's been more progress in Africa than any other decade.
One of our viewers sent in a question. Lorenzo Tolo Manjolo, who is a healthcare worker in Zambia, says there doesn't seem to be the willpower by government to achieve these MDGs. His point is that they have had 13 years to achieve them and nothing's been done, or very little has been done.
Well, but that's not true.
Yeah. If you look in Rwanda, Malawi, which was one of the poorest countries in Africa, Tanzania, Ethiopia, Rwanda and Malawi have Rwanda and Ethiopia and now Malawi are building out their healthcare system, these tiny little health posts with 15,000 of them and 30,000 healthcare workers. They're reaching the most remote villages. I was just there seeing the progress in August. I'll be there again in November. It's happening in places, and these governments are investing their own money now in addition to what's coming from the developed world.
Well, 2015 was set as the year for these goals to be achieved. What happens after that?
We'll pick a new set of goals, and I'm pretty sure the child mortality will be again a top priority because we have the vaccines rolling out. We have better understanding of how to keep young children alive. And as you say, there are many African countries that still have not followed the best practices that the leaders have shown make a huge difference.
Well, I mean, you talk about new objectives. Some of the critics of the MDGs say, I mean, it's wrong to have a one-size-fits-all solution for all these countries who've got their own different problems.
Yes, but if you set a goal of getting childhood deaths down, then it's up to country by country for them to decide what they want to do and how they want to go about that. But they're also learning from one another about what's working, and then they're spreading those practices. So it's a high-level world goal, but it's implemented by each country in a way that makes sense for their country.